We have a subscriber who said, I'm going to send you my gun collection. It just came in today. What do you think this could be? Okay, you look at this and say, this can't be much of a collection. And add to that, look down inside here, Randy. What kind of collection could this be if it only fits in a small box? Let's check this out. Okay, so I'm just going to count them out. We got one. They're all obviously all small caliber pistols. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some of you recognize that one. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Faster, Tom, faster. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, which is really appropriate because most of these are in 25 caliber. Let's open them up. Okay, these are the 25 guns. We just unwrapped them all. This is actually like watching TikTok. You watch one and then you just can't stop. When these came in, I thought, well, I don't know anything about these. I'll look at them later. And next thing I know, I couldn't put them down. I'm hoping the same thing will happen with this video. You start watching and you just can't stop. You're so amazed. So I don't know what some of these are, and some of you will help me. I also will do some research after the video, which seems a little backwards, but I just wanted to show them to you. A lot of them will say Velodog, Bulgarian Velodog, and they're this kind of a design where the trigger just comes down. And this is for your pocket or your vest pocket. It eliminates just that sharper edge. This looks like it's in 25 caliber. You can load it here, and then the trigger pulls down, and the cylinder will rotate as you pull the trigger. It's a very hard trigger, by the way, but there's a lot of this style. We'll see some more. This is not an antique. Actually, these are mostly made in the 30s. And this one is a more modern. I've seen this before, Raven Arms, and that's a 25 caliber as well. That's more modern, actually made in California. I bet it's been a long time since California made any handguns. Here you go. There's a model MP25. Modern gun, that's pretty cheap. This one is an H&R. We know Harrington and Richardson, we've sold quite a few of their guns. This is probably a little bit earlier. So it is semi-automatic. It has the magazine right here, nickel magazine. Looks a lot like a Walther Model 9 magazine. I know a little bit about those, but Harrington and Richardson, this would just work as a semi-automatic. In that position, it's safe, and push up, and it will fire. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is what the ultimate Saturday Night Special looks like. A cheap little gun. It's about the same quality as a Liberator. These were made in Miami, 38 specials. I think they're now outlawed. The way this works, 38 special again, so it's a pretty big round, would pack a punch. And then to load it, this rotates out. Again, a lot like a Liberator. You put your 2 bullets in and snap it down, and then you're ready to pull the trigger. However, it does have a grip safety, a very simple device. I wouldn't even noticed it, but when I put my grip on it, it does fire. So that's 38 special, Saturday Night Special. Okay, this one will leave you scratching your head. First of all, we do have an Eagle N, which means it was made in Germany sometime after 1940. For what purpose? I don't know. Because it has a huge caliber, but it's blocked. So this has to be a starter pistol, but I've seen starter pistols before. It does have a serial number. So it could have been just a loud bang that would scare any would-be robbers away. You see here DRGM, which is a purchasing department. I do see those on Aka holsters, so I know this was made during the war, and again, maybe just to scare people away. The trigger looks like that, and here's how you take it apart. This might help you see a little bit better, but when I pull this trigger and twist the barrel, it comes off. So there's the firing pin, and you can see it's almost like a shotgun shell, but it's blocked. So the only thing I can think of is a loud bang. Maybe somebody, and again, to scare away an attacker, But somebody out there will know what this is. DRGM right here. And then here we have 12 and a UAS. So no idea what this is. Unsatisfying video when I can't tell you what it is, but that's where you need to read the comments and find out what that is. This is one of my favorites. My favorite one is over here. Wait till I get to that. That I love. But this is a lady's gun. Comes in a purse. Let's open up the purse and see what we find. And like the first one I showed you, this one folds down. And it has a cylinder. I'm just looking at the markings. This says VEL, Velodog maybe. And I'm not sure who the maker is. There's some proof marks on them. They look a little bit different. We have a JK with a crown. And here's the trigger. It has a very tight pull, very difficult pull. And you see a little fire blue here. Again, 25 caliber. Let's move on, as much as I would like to learn more about that one. This one is a Haenel Schmeiser. Now, if you've heard that before, that's because they made the MP40, the Haenel Schmeiser, and Haenel also made Luger magazines and parts and things. But this is a 25 caliber semi-automatic made by Haenel Schmeiser, and it works a lot like most of the semi-automatics. You do see your load button and then ready to fire. It does have a safety here, safe and fire. This one looks a little bit like a pepper box, 25 caliber, folding trigger like many of the ones we've seen. And then of course this would rotate. I don't know who the maker is. I don't see any markings at all. I'd have to get my magnifying glass out. And the only thing I see right here is C&D, although it also looks like on the cylinder there was a slight attempt to do some etched engraving. I'm sure this would be an antique because this looks like it would have a percussion cap and you would load it from the front, and there's 6 shots and then it would strike. And these are all in good working condition, which is they're fairly flimsy, so they usually fall apart over time. But this collection is all really good guns from what I can tell so far. This is a Browning, also Mossberg. Made some shotguns and things like that, but look at this little unique thing. 4-shot, again, I believe 25 caliber, although this one looks 22. Yeah, this is 25 caliber. This is probably 22 caliber. So we push this lever down and pull this down. The whole front folds down. I put in my 22 caliber, and this looks like definitely rim fire. But 25, it looks like it would take short or long. Short would be a lot safer because this thing I think would backfire a bit. But that's a very simple design, very early, not sure when it was made. But that's again how you open it up. And a rimfire 22 caliber. This is a palm pistol. I don't understand the 3. I know safe and I know fire. This must be full auto. What do you think? Of course I'm kidding, not full auto. So when I have it on fire, it does fire. When I put it on safe, it doesn't move at all. When I put it on D, it will move but not fire. This is actually really good for those of you who want to strengthen your wrists. I have this little exercise at home, I do. So that's what that is for. I don't know how to load it other than from the top, push down. Not sure. Somebody's going to answer that for me. There's the maker. This is French name, French company. And what's interesting is this is number 1. So I don't know if that's accurate or not. Yeah, look at that. Another one. This actually might be a really expensive gun. And what's going on here with the orange? But yeah, so fascinating about this. Those of you who are collectors, if this is real, you're drooling, because that does say number 1. And this also says number 1. And again, good exercise equipment. Okay, let's jump to this one. I'm going to call it a Rig Army, and it is 25 caliber. You can tell this company was Christian because you see the fish. Joking, of course, but that's a symbol of the Christian faith. And so this is made in Italy, 25 caliber, little semi-automatic. You can see it says made in Italy, and again, the fish. There's the magazine, again, about the size of a Model 9. If you look at the back of this looks a lot like the Model 9. You push this, and this pops out, and that's how you take the slide off. So it works like the Model 9. This piece comes out, and the firing pin comes out. But this is a little baby. Also, DRGM, German procurement. There is a proof mark right here, but it's Weimar period. So this was made in the 30s. Very simple. Going to cock it. It's a single shot. It's 22 caliber. Put a 22 caliber shell, fasten it back down. I'm going to change my glove here. And then the 22 shell there, you can see it's going to be a rim fire. It's going to hit the top of the rim of the shell. Little baby, 22 caliber, probably short. Again, German procurement, looks like in the 30s. Okay, we're up to my favorite one, and came in this, but that's irrelevant. This is very cool. What you do is when you hold this in your hand and then you punch somebody and it reinforces your punch. That's actually would work, but it's a gun and it's engraved and it's French. It has a French company name on it, 25 caliber. This opens like this. Push this button to close it. So open it up, engraved, beautiful metal. This is fire blued in here. Notice the engraved in gold. This folds down. The name of the factory is on there, but again, it's a French name. And you pull the trigger. Rotates the cylinder. Don't want to shoot it too much. Novo is on here. So I push the button again and fold it up, and you can punch with it. Let's keep moving. That's my favorite. I like that a lot. This looks Italian. Doesn't that remind you of the Beretta? It's like PSF, which I've seen on the Berettas. And the first name V, Bernadelli, so VB is for Bernadelli. And this is just a little 22 caliber. It does a magazine, bottom release magazine. And again, like a Model 9, this button here pops this open. And that's where your firing pin and the slide will then come off, just with the push of the button. So it does operate just like the Model 9, and now I can't get it back in, so I'm going to keep moving. Here we have a Browning. I'm a little more familiar with these. Made in Belgium, and this one also has a bottom release magazine. This looks brand new. Does have a safe fire function and works real smoothly. There's a bunch of these look like this. This just folds down. These are pretty cheaply made with special grips. I guess that's a mother of pearl grip. And this says baby hammerless. This says model 1940. This one is very similar, a little bit different. This could be Spanish, and I think it says yucca, but it also has a bullfighter. So it could be a Spanish. Most of the break opens that you see like this, again 25 caliber, you just pull this up and it breaks open and automatically ejects as well, ejects the spent shells. So we'll move along. This is similar. This folds down and a fairly cheap, it's got a K. Not sure who the maker is. Model 1910. Now I said the other one was 1940. This is 1910. I said this one was 1940, and that's because of the flag on the one, but that is 1910. These are both 1910, same maker. This one has a little bit different in that it's, I was going to say case hardened, but that's just some corrosion. And this does say Velodog, 25 caliber, and this folds and moves the cylinder. Same thing here, very similar, a little smaller. These are wooden grips. Most of them are a Bakelite, and same action. It does have an MS there. Maybe it went to the Mississippi State Militia. Kidding, again. This is very similar, except I'm not sure who the maker is. It has looks like an American Eagle there. It does have the folding trigger, and it does come, this is actually 32 caliber. It does have a maker here, but I can't read it right there. And how do you load that thing? Okay, like that. This Pop that open, load it this way. So a lot of variety. This one has some case hardening to it, kind of cool. Look at that, that fell open by itself. It shouldn't do that, but the spring is probably weak. Then this pops open, so you can load it. This is also 32 caliber, very different. Not sure who the maker is. I don't see any marking other than right here, 7.65, so it's European. These are the proof marks, which some of you would be able to tell the country. This one I already did, and then we have some nickel-plated. This is just a straight nickel-plated revolver, and another one with the trigger folds down. Quite a collection here, down to the last one, which is like many of the others, just fold down, and this pops open, and this would be in 25 caliber. I don't see a maker. A lot of them just say early Velo Dog style pistol. So there's a lot of pistols here. Like I said, I was like TikTok. I got started and I just couldn't put them down. So I thought, well, I'll show them to all of you. If some of you will know some things about them, and if you know somebody who collects these, obviously we're going to move these along. But got to be my favorite. I think my wife would like that a lot. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe to our channel, but it just goes to show you, you can't always judge a box by its size.